it's not fair on you guys who love and support me to lie to you. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth. If you're new here, I upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays. Please subscribe down below if you haven't already to become a part of our family. Today's video is kind of a video that I have been putting off for a long time. I received this comment on Instagram probably a month ago, and it's been in the back of my mind for that whole time. And I've just I deleted the comment because it hurt me. I had so many fiery replies that I could have given this girl, and there were so many things that I could have said, but I deleted it because I didn't want to cause something. I didn't want to be nasty. I didn't want her to have to deal with all my emotions that I was feeling about that comment, because that comment really hit home for me, and it is something that I've been ashamed of for so long, and she saw it and she pointed it out and it just hurt. I wish that I even screenshotted the comment, but I didn't. The comment that she left was on a photo of myself and Noah. I was in a really expensive, lovely dress, and I remember thinking that I wasn't worthy of wearing that dress. The comment that I received was, how come you Photoshop every single one of your photos when you preach body positivity and you tell young girls to embrace their body, blah, 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 blah. I Photoshop my photos. I used to Photoshop my photos. I didn't do a very good job of it. It started probably end of last year. I would just do like pull my waist in just a little bit, or just make my arm a little bit smaller, or whatever. And then when I posted these photos and no one commented on them, I thought, wow, like it's so unnoticeable that I'm Photoshopping my photos. Wow. And then I got a little bit cocky and my Photoshop started to be really obvious, and it was something that I was doing to almost, I was photoshopping my body into how I would want it to look, but I was pulling all the outside images and all the outside objects around me and wasn't fixing them, and I wasn't doing anything about them. So I was clearly, the photo was photoshopped. And when this girl commented on this photo of mine that I had photoshopped it, I just felt my heart break, because it was something that I was doing because I was so ashamed of myself, and I thought if I photoshopped these photos that people wouldn't know that I've put all this weight back on, and people wouldn't know that I'm struggling, and people would think that I'm smashing life. And when she commented that, I realized that I wasn't fooling anyone. I needed to work on myself, and I had to fix myself and what was going on in my head, because I was putting these photos out and just looking like an absolute fool because everyone could clearly tell they were photoshopped. I am so about everyone feeling confident within themselves and loving their body no matter what they look like. And sometimes it's really, really hard to practice what you preach. You just forget the things that you're telling other people to do, and sometimes you're the person that gets... I don't want to have a pity party for myself, because that's not what this video is about. Because quite honestly, I was still struggling with eating. More in the fact of I wouldn't eat enough, I would overeat so much, and then I would restrict myself for 2 days, and then I would overeat and then undereat and then restrict. And it wasn't anywhere near as bad as what it was when I was in college, but it wasn't great. So when she commented this, and I'm not trying to point this girl out and I'm not trying to make her feel bad, but she was 100% right. I was photoshopping all these photos and putting them up on my Instagram, and then trying to tell all of you guys to love yourself and do whatever you want to do and do what makes you happy, and the way that you look shouldn't affect your life. I was totally contradicting myself. So this was around about the time that my Instagram actually got hacked. And so when I remade a new Instagram, I tried to go and upload as many photos as I had on my phone from like, I think the start of last year all the way up until recently. So my Instagram wasn't empty and it still had all these photos, because ultimately I want my Instagram to be something that I can look back on and see a pattern of everything that happened. Like, I'm not very good at keeping photos on my phone. I'll just go and delete them when I've had enough of all the storage is taking up. That doesn't actually matter in this story. So I was posting all these photos, and all of these photos that were amazing memories to me, I'd photoshopped, and I deleted the original so no one ever knew when they were going through my phone that I photoshopped. And I was looking at them all, and it was kind of like I'd ruined these memories. Like I remember that I would Photoshop like 3 or 4 different photos of the same event and then send them to Noah and say, these are the photos that were taken. You can choose one. If you want to upload it, it has to be out of these ones. I don't have any more. because they were the ones that I photoshopped and they were the ones that were okay for him to use. It's only been the last 2 months that pretty much since that comment that I realized that I need to get my shit back together and I need to stop. I need to start practicing what I preach to you guys. Photoshopping my photos was just a way of me to deny the fact that I had put on all the weight that I had worked so hard 2 years previously to lose. And I know it's nothing but my own fault, because when Noah and I used to live in the center of the city, we would buy food every night, we would eat whatever the frick we wanted, we would stay up until any stupid time. My sleep pattern was off, my eating was absolutely ridiculous. I was not going to the gym because it was a 20-minute drive from my house and Noah and I were sharing a car at the time. So in my head, that was too hard to go to the gym. There were so many things that happened that I let take me back to the place that I was 3 years ago. And I was so mad at myself that I was back there that I didn't want everyone else to know that I felt like I'd failed, and I didn't want everyone else to know that I'd failed. So 2 months ago, I got this comment and I decided that it's not fair on you guys who love and support me to lie to you and tell you that you need to love yourself no matter what, and the way that you look shouldn't affect anything you do, and then go and Photoshop my photos. Because clearly I wasn't loving myself or treating myself very nicely ultimately. So it's been around 2 months and I have stopped photoshopping my photos. I am starting to love myself again. I'm back to where I was a year ago. I'm going back to the gym twice a day. I'm eating healthily. For me, it's not a diet. And if I want to eat a block of chocolate, I will. But the way that I now deal with me eating a block of chocolate is very different to how I would have done that 3 or so months ago. I am trying to get myself back on the healthier track for myself. I think this goes to show that self-love is always going to be something that someone struggles with. No matter how much they tell you they love themselves, or no matter how much they preach it to you, they're still going to doubt themselves. And I think it's really important to know that, and that when we're scrolling through Instagram and we see all these girls that are posting about themselves and saying that they love themselves, and they're posting all these revealing photos, and you think, wow, I wish I had the confidence to do that. There is guaranteed probably 6 things in that photo that they hate about themselves, and 6 things that they could point out and tell you were wrong with that photo. When you've just scrolled through and thought, wow, that's a really lovely photo. She looks really banging. We are our worst critic, and for some reason we just hate ourselves, and we're programmed to hate ourselves. And I think social media has had a massive influence in that, but I also think that there's so much pressure put on young girls that they have to love themselves, and some girls don't know how to do that, and some girls like me go through struggles of putting weight back on that I lost, and all of a sudden thinking, wow, I'm a failure. I need to pretend to the world that I'm not. There's no right way to love yourself, and there's no right way to ever be so super confident. I think it's super important for any young girl or boy or old girl or old boy in the entire world, like not just my viewers, but every single person. I think it's so important to realize that self-love doesn't happen overnight. Self-love is not always going to happen for you. It's going to be really hard, and you probably are going to go through some of the things that I've gone through with photoshopping my photos and lying to my friends and family online about what I look like. It's something that I'm clearly not over yet, and I'm not 100% confident within myself, and I don't love every inch of my body, but I'm learning that my body is my body, and it's getting me through my life, and it's the only body that I'm ever going to have. And I know that you guys would have heard people say that all the time. Your body is the only one that you're ever going to get. It's your little vessel for your entire life. So why would you not look after it? Why would you not want to love it? Love it for just the functions that it provides for you. There are some people out there that can't walk. There's some people out there that can't talk. You should be so thankful and love yourself just for that. And that is something that I'm really working hard on, is thanking my body for allowing me to walk, and thanking my body for allowing me to go to the gym. It's just a massive mind game, and this video really has no other point except for the fact that I still struggle with loving myself, and I still feel like I've failed when it doesn't go to plan. I want every single one of you to love yourself, and I think it's a journey that we have to go on ourselves and kind of discover what self-love means to you personally, because the way that you self-love is not the way that the person sitting next to you on the bus self-loves. I really have nothing else to say except for thank God that girl posted on my Instagram about that, because now I'm so much happier already. I've lost 6 kilos. As of this morning, I've lost 6 kilos, and it was kind of the thing that I needed to kick me in the butt and realize that I'm not happy. Why am I not happy? I've put more weight on and I'm feeling gross about myself. Let's fix it. So that's my little rant about self-love and why I Photoshop my photos. I don't Photoshop them anymore. Thank you, lady on Instagram, for pointing out the fact that I'm really bad at Photoshop. That's all I gotta say. This ramble video, that's all I've gotta say. I'm sorry that I Photoshopped my photos. I'm sorry that I lied to you all, but I was going through my own shit. And sometimes you've gotta go through your own shit and pick all your other shit up together and pick yourself up and deal with it. So here I am dealing with my shit. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did like this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe down below if you haven't already. And don't forget to love yourself.